Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be exploring something that might make you see your home, like in a totally new light.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be talking about the idea that our living spaces are kind of like mirrors reflecting our inner worlds.
I think this is going to be really fascinating. You know, you've always been like so intentional about how you set up your own apartment. And I know you think a lot about the kind of energy of a space and things like thing is a metaphor for everything else. And a house is a metaphor for your heart.
Wow.
So essentially, he's saying our homes are really just outward expressions of our inner landscapes. Right. And that the choices we make about our living spaces are connected to who we are at our core.
Okay. So it's not just about having a stylish apartment. It's about the choices reflecting something deeper about yourself.
Exactly. It's about understanding the why behind the what.
I see.
He gives this great anecdote about visiting an apartment with two friends, and the apartment's on the 26th floor overlooking the Pearl River in Guangzhou. And he was like immediately drawn to the openness of the apartment, the expansive view. And he felt a real sense of excitement and possibility, you know, just looking out at that view.
Yeah.
But his friends had completely different reactions to the same space.
Oh, this is where it gets good.
Yeah.
Different people, different vibes.
Right. The first friend was like completely overwhelmed by the space. It just felt like too much for him. He felt like he couldn't control it. And he really needed a space that felt more manageable, more grounded.
I know people like that.
Yeah.
They like things just so.
Yeah, exactly.
What about the second friend?
The second friend was very sensitive to what he called the energy of the space. And he was not a fan of this apartment's layout because it wasn't a traditional square shape.
Oh, right.
He thought it disrupted the flow of energy, and later he invited them to see his new place.
Hello?
And guess what? It was essentially a basin surrounded by high-rises.
So he chose to live in the opposite kind of apartment. That's so interesting.
It is, isn't it? He felt safe and secure being enclosed like that.
I can see why someone would feel that way.
Exactly. It just highlights how subjective our experience of space is, and how those preferences often tie back to our individual psychology.
Makes perfect sense.
But these individual preferences, they're really just the tip of the iceberg.
Cool.
With this story about a client. And this client had a pattern of buying and selling apartments. She had bought and sold 8 apartments in total, always searching for that perfect home. And she couldn't really articulate what she was looking for, but all 8 apartments that she bought had one really peculiar feature. They all had a long corridor leading to the master bedroom.
8 apartments.
Oh.
All with long corridors.
Yeah.
That's wild. What was going on there?
Well, it turns out the reason for all those corridors was connected to her elderly mother, who lived with her.
Oh, okay.
Her mother insisted on being able to access her bedroom whenever she wanted.
Yeah.
And so the corridor provided this buffer zone, almost like a reaction time for the client.
That's like she was literally creating physical distance within her own home.
Right. And what's really striking is that this client was over 40 years old and financially independent. You know, she could have easily afforded to live on her own.
Wow.
But she still felt unable to set boundaries with her mother, even in her own personal space.
So it's almost like that corridor was a physical manifestation of the emotional distance that she craved but couldn't quite establish.
I love that. That's such a great way to put it. And it really goes back to this idea of the house as a metaphor for the heart. That it's not just about the physical structure, but it's a space where our deepest experiences, our relationships, and even our unresolved issues play out.
So even seemingly insignificant details, like a long corridor, can actually hold a lot of psychological weight.
That's fascinating.
It is, isn't it?
So what does that mean for us?
Well, I don't think it means we need to overanalyze every inch of our homes. But I do think there's value in becoming more mindful of the choices that we make when it comes to our living spaces, because those choices can really reveal a lot about our values, our needs, and even our subconscious desires.
You know, this is making me look at my own apartment a little differently. I've always loved having a cozy reading nook, but now I'm kind of wondering, is it just about a love of books, or is it also about creating a sense of security and like a place to retreat to?
There you go. You're starting to decode your own personal home heart map.
I like that. And you know what's fascinating is that our needs and preferences change over time. So what might have felt like the perfect space 5 years ago might not resonate with us in the same way today.
So it's like an ongoing process.
Yeah.
Like an interior dialogue between our inner and outer worlds.
Exactly.
This has been so eye-opening. Is there anything else we can learn from this idea of the house as a metaphor for the heart?
Well, I think so. It all comes back to this idea that our homes are extensions of ourselves.
Yeah.
So the real value here is asking ourselves some questions like, what does your home say about you?
Okay.
What needs does it fulfill? What aspects of your personality or past experiences are reflected in the way you've designed and inhabited your space?
I love that. It's not about judgment. It's about curiosity and self-discovery.
Exactly. It's about understanding that our homes can be these really powerful tools for self-reflection
Yeah.
and personal growth.
I see.
By paying attention to the details, to the choices we've made, we can gain a deeper understanding of who we are and what truly makes us feel at home, both physically and emotionally.
It's almost like our homes are these secret treasure maps to our inner selves,
I love that. That's a great way to put it.
just waiting to be decoded.
And the best part is, the exploration never really ends. As we evolve and grow, so too can our homes.
So it's this continuous dance between our inner and outer worlds, finding that sweet spot where they align.
Beautifully put. To wrap things up, let's go back to that client story for a second. Think about your own space. What seemingly small or insignificant detail might actually hold a deeper psychological meaning for you? What might it reveal about your personality, your needs, or even your past?
That's such a great question. That's definitely going to have me looking at my own home with a fresh perspective.
Well, it all comes back to, that idea that our homes are extensions of ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think the real value lies in, like, asking ourselves some reflective questions. What does your home say about you? What needs does it fulfill? What aspects of your personality or past experiences are reflected in the way you've designed and inhabited the space?
I love that. It's not about judgment. It's about curiosity and self-discovery.
Exactly. Our homes can be these really powerful tools for self-reflection and for personal growth. If we pay attention to the details, the choices we've made, I think we can gain a deeper understanding of who we are and what truly makes us feel at home, both physically and emotionally.
Yeah, it's like our homes are these secret treasure maps to our inner selves, just waiting to be decoded.
That's a great analogy. And the best part is, that exploration never really ends. As we evolve and grow, so too can our homes.
So it's this continuous dance
Yeah.
between our inner and outer worlds,
Yeah.
trying to find that sweet spot where they align.
Beautifully put.
This has been such a fascinating conversation.
It has been.
I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.